Hey, it's Chris with Never Enough Outdoors, and today I wanted to reshoot a video that I made in the past recently about how to set up your scanner, your police scanner in your vehicle to use as you drive down the road. This is my company truck behind me here. It's new to me, and I wanted to get my scanner set up in it so I can travel and listen to the scanner instead of the radio. I like to listen to police and fire, sometimes CB radio, or different school buses or utilities, sometimes airplanes talking to each other, or the control towers talking to the airplanes. But I enjoy listening to all kinds of things on my scanner, and I wanted to listen to it as I drive down the road. So here's my truck behind me here. I'm going to show you the new setup I've got. I thought I had a setup going for me, but I didn't like it, and so I constructed something to make it a little easier to use, and I want to show you how I did that. Please subscribe to my channel, check out my videos, and we'll go get started. All right, as I mentioned in the other video, I've got an antenna on the roof here. It's a magnetic antenna, and it attaches to the roof. It goes in my door, and it goes through the door jamb and down into the floor here, and it goes under this mat I've got. I've got most of my wires hidden under this mat. And I wanted to show you how I had it set up to listen to in the vehicle. All right, so this is my setup. In the other video, I had mentioned that I'd tried everything I could find in the past for keeping my scanners mounted so I could see it and use it and reach out and touch it if I need to. And I had landed on this magnetic piece, and I was going to try to use this again in this truck. In my old car, I had a Ford C-Max, and the dash was a lot closer to me when I was driving. It didn't have these round air vents like the F-150 has. It had a more square vent where they go up and down and side to side, and it just worked better in those. And I could get it in a way so that it was facing me. It was actually more like this. It was much closer to the driver's seat, and it was facing me. It was tilted down a little bit, and I don't have that luxury in this truck. And I thought I was just going to use this magnetic piece here and put it like that and put my scanner on it. But as you can see, it always wants, no matter how far I spin this and no matter what way I do it, after some time it always flips back pointing over here. No matter what I do, I've tried everything. So I went out and I made this. I'm not going to be able to show you how I made it because I made it in the dark the other night at my house. But what I did was I had this vacant little spot here that I don't know what I would put in there, but I don't need it. But I need a place for my scanner. So I took some wood I had lying around and measured it to the fit, and I cut it, and I took a second piece and drilled it together, and I cut it in a way so that it's angled in the direction I wanted. It's facing, it's kind of slanted down, and it's slanted in the direction of the driver's seat. And I put it in here, and then I had this problem with it wobbling. And so here's my invention self. I took some old grocery bags and wadded them up and stuck them in this hole to fill that gap. No one rides with me. No one will probably ever ride with me in this vehicle. No one's ever gonna see how ugly this is. But I need it, and it works great. So those bags I stuff in there, and I'll have to take a pin or a screwdriver and get them deep in there later. But basically, let me set this up how I like it. I like it over here more. And then I bought a pack of these. This is the clip. It's like the clip that goes on your belt. And then on the back of your scanner, most scanners have this. You have this little piece here, and it clips on there. And this is what I have. I have on the wall at work. I have one of these mounted to the wall, and I hang my scanner on it. But I bought a pack of these off Amazon. I think I bought like 10 or so in a pack. I didn't need but one, but it was so cheap, I just went ahead and bought them all. I figured I could use them later. But I've got that. And so now, instead of it flipping around, it can't go anywhere. And it's facing me. It's kind of at an angle where I can read it. And it's not too far away. You know, I can just reach out and touch what I need to do. Sometimes I'll reach out and hold on a certain frequency or a channel or a department or a system that I want to listen to continuously. And so I like to be able to reach out and touch it. And I explained in the other video, but I'm going to show you again. This truck is an F-150 2014. The Bluetooth doesn't work, so I cannot answer phone calls through the Bluetooth. I'm going to have to set my phone up to answer on my headset. I also went out and I bought this FM transmitter. It will pick up the Bluetooth off my phone. I can talk on the phone and use the radio station for output. I use 88.1. It works great. I can play music through the radio. I don't have any problems with it. I could talk through the radio. I don't prefer to do that. I probably won't use it to talk on the phone. I'll just use my headset like I do normally during the day. But this transmitter has a audio plug-in where I would plug in my scanner or anything I want to play through the headphones. Because that's great, because this plug for the radio does not work. There's something wrong with the radio. It plays AM, FM, but it does not play external things. It does not play over Bluetooth. It does not play when you plug in an audio headphone plug here, and it also does not play over USB. I've tried everything I can to fix it, and I'm pretty smart and pretty handy, but I cannot fix it, and I think it's something internally wrong with the radio. And so this is my solution, is this FM transmitter. I got this on Amazon. It wasn't that expensive, but it works for me. I don't necessarily need to play music. I've got my scanner that I listen to pretty much the entire time I'm ever in this vehicle. So, but I'm using this headphone plug to run my scanner and get it to my radio so I can hear the sound. So I've got my audio plug here. It's just audio on both sides. I plug one in there and I plug the other in into my scanner. It has an audio out plug, so I can plug that in and get my audio from my scanner to the radio. I've also got power. This audio I thought it worked for power, but it doesn't work for power. It doesn't work for the radio, but it doesn't work for power. But I've got a power cord, a USB on one side, and I don't know what you call this, but it's what powers my scanner. Now this scanner has batteries, rechargeable batteries in it. I don't use battery power often. I just don't walk around with this. 90% of the time I use external power to keep this thing going. I don't run off batteries. So I'm gonna plug in my USB to my charger, and this just goes into the unit where you would charge it at. It's gonna pop up and ask me if I want to charge the battery. I'm gonna say no because I don't want to charge it, but that also tells me my charger's working and I've got power. You can only charge these batteries when the scanner's turned off. I wish it charged while you were using it, but it doesn't. So another thing I've got here is this cigarette lighter. I've got ran to a 3-way cigarette lighter, and I've got some stuff taped on here. It wants to fall out all the time, but one of these goes to a GPS unit with a screen on it that I can see directions. I don't need it, but it's there. I keep it up all the time just in case I get lost or I drop my phone that's hanging up here with directions. Using the Waze app, I've got backup. I like to have it on the dash in addition. I've got a phone charger here if I need it. And then I've also got another device plugged in here to run power. And it runs to this device, which is GPS, that runs the scanner. And the way it works is this GPS unit it'll stick out on the side of your vehicle. It is magnetic, but I don't have anything magnetic up here to hold it up. I usually just sit it up here in the dash somewhere. It doesn't fall out, but it just stays up there and it picks up GPS. And it runs to an adapter that runs to that power source. And then it has a cord that comes out of it that plugs into my scanner. And it's this cord here. And I plug it into my scanner. It will fall out if you bump it, but it works great. The GPS is awesome. And the way this works is I'm driving around with this thing. As I move out of one area to another, depending on what I've got set up to scan, it will drop the area I just left and pick up a new area as I drive into it. So I don't have to keep setting this up with a different zip code as I drive around. This thing does it for me. Right now I'm in Gwinnett County, Georgia. As I leave this area, it will drop the stuff you would hear from here, and it would pick up the new area that I drive into. So I don't have to keep setting it up as I move around. It knows where I'm at, and it tells the scanner, the GPS unit tells the scanner where I'm at and what I want to listen to because of where I'm at. So you can drive from here across the country and never have to touch this thing because the GPS tells it where I'm at, and it keeps changing to pick up stuff where I'm located. And that is awesome. And when I first got this scanner, I tried to drive around and punch in my area code, look up on my phone my area code, punch it in, and pick up stuff as I moved around, but it was a nightmare. You can't do that while you're driving. So I went and picked this up. I think I may have got it from Uniden. You can get it from Amazon, wherever. There's a lot of scanner websites and sales places, but I got this and I love it. I love it. It's awesome. This GPS unit changes a lot when you're driving around with this thing. Another thing I just mentioned, I've got a magnetic antenna on the roof. There's all kinds of antennas. I usually just look at what I can afford, and I go Google a review on it and see how other people like it, and that's how I decide what kind of antenna to get. One on my roof now was on my car, and it was low profile, and I liked it. It seemed to work okay. And I've got two of another one. One's in my office. It's a magnetic vehicle antenna. I've got one of those at home that I listen to at home sometimes. I used to put that on a truck I had, my old personal truck, when I'd use it. It's good. I can't tell a difference in the two. One picks up one thing better, one picks up something else better. I really can't tell a difference in range. But I've got an antenna on the roof. I've got it ran around my door jamb and into the vehicle here. Here's the adapter. Now I've replaced the adapter that came with this, but this came with a screw-on piece, and all the antennas you screw on. I've got an antenna, mobile antenna that I used to sometimes drive around with before I got the other one. It's a mobile antenna. You can walk around with it, but it's really long. It works good for more analog type content. And then I've got another, it's called a Remtronics. It's very popular. It's kind of short. It picks up P25 systems, which are a lot of police and fire digital systems nowadays. It works pretty good. I don't know which one I prefer because I listen to a lot of analog stuff, but I do listen to some digital. One's supposed to be better for the other, and it's hard to decide which one to put on it sometimes because I like so much of each type of listening. But here's where I've retrofitted this with this type. This is what the old scanners used, and what I find more antennas come in this piece. So just a quick connect. You don't have to screw anything in. You just pop it on. If I wanted to pop it off, I can pop it off real quick. But about everything I use now is this type connector. So there's my antenna. And like I said, I've got all my cords hidden under this mat. But here's my new setup, and I wanted to go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to turn my key forward so that my radio would work. And if this thing is flashing, it's not flashing. It's just the video is picking it up as flashing. I can't figure out how to change my settings to make that not happen anymore. But here's my new setup. Again, it was up here. I had it facing me a little bit, but it would always find a way to come back over here and be straight. No matter what I did with this thing, it would always find a way to not face me, and I didn't like that. So I'm going to turn my volume up on here. I usually keep the volume on the unit on 12.
Until later on, early evening.
Okay, this is a golf course.
For good information, thank you.
There's a golf course about a mile away. That's what I was listening to then. I've only got certain things turned on. I've got some things that stay on 24/7, but they only pick up when they're in GPS range. So they might be on right now, but they may not pick up right here. So there's that. This is that.
Can you tell what kind of ticket this gentleman got?
That's a simply just has the name, the date, and the amount for 100.
I'm gonna turn that off. That's the golf course right down the street. They're fun to listen to. I used to work there many years ago, so it's kind of neat to see what they're talking about. I've got a lot of other stuff turned on here. I'm gonna swap over to, okay, this is Stone Mountain Park operations. This is just the people, the cleaners are on here all day, the maintenance guys, the golf course. That's the Marriott. So this is my new setup. The only thing that's different from this video and the last is that I built this piece here. And this is gonna help this thing be much closer to me, facing me and at an angle where I can see it. It's gonna be more like my car. And so this is what I had to build in this truck to make it work out for me. I'd love if you leave a comment if you like this, if you think this is dumb. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make it work. Again, no one's ever going to ride with me, so I'm not worried about it looking ugly. It doesn't look that bad, really. It's I took this piece to stick in here. I took another piece and put it on the bottom, and I angled my cut. And I'm not a carpenter, so it doesn't look pretty, but I angled a cut in a way that I can make this thing face towards me at a 45-degree angle. And then I just screwed this thing on, and then my scanner just slides on, and it spins a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. It's not going to go anywhere. I got all my cords here. I've got my antenna on the roof. I've got my GPS unit. I've got a way to make my audio work, and it works great. I'm so excited that I've made this change compared to this. But leave a comment if you like it, if you don't like it, or you can tell me kind of what you do, or give me some ideas if you think there's a better way to do this. This is what I've invented, and I hope it works. This is a Uniden BCD436HP. They make a newer one. It's the I can't remember the name, something 100. It's a whole lot fancier. The screen, you can make the text light up in different colors and really decorate the screen. I just haven't bought one. I've thought about it, but they're really expensive. But this is what I've had for a few years now, and I really like it. I've had analog scanners in the past. I just have this one mainly because it's newer, but a lot of things went digital so many years ago, and now a lot of things are encrypted. But so that's what I've got. I love it. It stays in this vehicle or it goes in my office. But this is my setup. I hope you like it, and I hope it gives you some ideas of some ways to hook up a scanner in your vehicle or get into it. I'd love to be able to share with you where I got all this stuff. If you're interested, just let me know, and I'll pull up each item I bought. Most of it on Amazon. I think I bought the scanner off Uniden, or maybe another scanner website. I don't remember. I've had it for so long, but here's what I've got. And if you have the same issue with your truck or anything you'd like to ask me about, I'd be glad to share with you what I've done or where I got it from, or a solution I may have had for an issue in the past. Please check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.